Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the UKLC. We're getting ready to go into our final game of the day. This is Resolve taking on Enclave. Resolve, there was a moment where they obviously had switched out FGG, and they kind of fallen from the top dogs, and they've added Regan in, but Regan's also kind of fit into the team fairly well. They've had a few teaming issues, but it feels like they're kind of back on form a little bit more here, Jamada.
Yeah, I feel like we could be seeing potentially sort of that return to the early split Resolve that we saw. Because, whilst I think FGG is a great player, I think stylistically him and Regan sort of fit the same kind of roles Regan fits the same kind of roles that FGG would likely be filling in this UKLC roster. And I mean, if earlier in the week is anything to go by, that seems to be the case. These aggressive, engaged supports, potentially a voice in the team as well, because having spoken with some of the NLC players during the week, during one of the interviews, I'm pretty sure they said, FGG surprisingly is a pretty big voice. Which, if you're moving that away from an academy team as well, feels a bit bad, but hopefully Regan can fit as much as that as possible, and it seems to be the case potentially. But I'm looking at Enclave really, because I want to know exactly whether or not they figured out that Impulse and Rightly are the guys that they have to play towards. Whilst I think Sykes is definitely very capable in 4 as well, you're talking about X Prime 1 and Pro Division in Germany, players between Rightly and Impulse respectively. So these guys are big names from where they come from. And honestly, Impulse last split, he had a pretty damn good split. I think Rightly as well, a very, very talented player when it comes to finding engages, in particular on things like the set whenever he's had it, or the owner, I believe, is other very prominent pick. So I want to see Enclave play through the spot lane a little more proactively for me. But as far as Resolve goes, very multifaceted. We've seen them play for everybody, but typically it's Kenruter on the weak side, and Maiku who gets all the resources.
Well, picks and bans almost out of the way. We've had the Fresh, the Nocturne, the Lulu banned away from the side of Resolve, along with the Akali, the Gwen, and see what the final ban's going to be. We've got the Diana still open, we've got the Set, we've got the Kennen. Actually, Kenruter did play this, actually. They pretty powerful with that, actually, in the top lane. In their last game, in their last win. So kind of an understandable one, but the Xin Zhao has been left open. The Karma Ezreal could be answered out here, though, from the side of Enclave if they'd like to.
Yeah, Karma Ezreal wouldn't be too bad as like a general response. Yeah, that plus Karma also pretty damn good as well. So already you've got the strong bruiser with a lot of utility to back him up.
Yeah.
And Enclave, pretty strong foundations here for a bit of a death ball composition, maybe a team fight or skirmishing comp. But over to Resolve, because I mean they're the ones with the Xin Zhao lock-in for Bakako, so more aggressive picks. Yeah, stuff like the Lee Sin. Otto's played it. Kenruter probably can play it if I had to wager a guess, but it's typically been an Otto pick for this Resolve Academy side. And with Lee plus Xin Zhao, I'd expect an AD carry, maybe an engaged support if they're comfortable in Maiku's champion pool.
I feel like Ezreal's not a bad pick here. You're denying the Karma Ezreal lane. It can kind of play a weak side, but actually just going for the Nautilus. Now, Nautilus is something that we do see kind of pick to shut down things like the Akali, not the Akali, sorry, the Karma, because, the hook lands, one of them's going to die or lose most of their health bar. So we'll see if Enclave decide to go for that. This Karma, again, technically flexible, can get moved around a little bit. So see what they look to load in and pick up as their final pick in this first pick phase.
Yeah, I think if anything, I would expect this Karma to end up in Info's hands. He's played it before already, once it's been on Enclave and early, well, I say early Taric lock-in, but when talking about you already see the Nautilus matchup, pretty happy to do it. So, invulnerability, a lot of shielding, a lot of healing, all stacking on top of this Viego eventually and potentially. And now you've got a lock in an AD carry and probably another carry from the mid lane, maybe the top side as well. Enclave, they've got a strong team fighting comp in the making. Right now, all I feel like they potentially need is, one engage option. But when you look at Resolve Academy, the aggression coming out of the composition, you might not even need the go buttons.
Yeah, you might just want the turnaround buttons. Yeah. I kind of like the idea of potentially seeing a Tristana here for Resolve. It's got a lot of burst. It can be very aggressive with the Nautilus in lane, and that might be what they need to try and shut down whatever's going on. But Enclave gonna ban away the Kai'Sa. That's that answer out here. Kai'Sa Nautilus, kind of a tried and tested and a bit of a classic bot lane combo. Final ban here from Resolve. Probably going to pinch the AD carry pool again a little bit more here. I think you've also got things like Callista as well, which kind of has gone under the radar a little bit today.
Yeah, and I mean, if Impulse plays it and Ezreal remains up, you could look at that as an angle here. It would be blind, but honestly, the only lane you'd maybe have to worry about is like a Varus from Maiku. But even then, it's a lane that can definitely be sort of fought out as a 2v2. Maybe they want to go for the more defensive option themselves, but if they go for the defensive option like Ezreal here in this situation, I feel like they would probably end up at the worst end of the deal. So maybe they go for Varus, or you called the Tristana, and that looks like it's what we're going to get. Saw it last game. And quite frankly, the combination does look very, very strong.
Yeah. Also a bit of a denial from that kind of aggressive bot lane. So now Resolve, what is their answer going to be? Are they going to go for something like that Varus themselves and look to just keep the Tristana at arm's length, or maybe something that can go aggressive and fight against it? But the AD carry pool is heavily trimmed down right now. I mean, you could go for something like a Lucian if you just want to go like full in on laning.
Yeah, I mean, Varus is still up. You're right. Lucian has been picked up by MyQ before in the bottom lane, but we're just going to see the Ezreal, so a little bit of a safer pick to aid in some scaling. As you froze for a second, I was a bit worried.
Yeah, that was a bit scary. I looked over and I was like, my eyes aren't closed still.
My eyes aren't closed. And it's actually going to be Kenruro on this Lee Sin. Otto's going to be piloting the Orianna, so honestly, a little more sort of tempered out of the composition from Resolve. Doesn't mean they can't get aggressive. You know, you've got this Nautilus, you've got the Xin Zhao. Definitely angles, but you look at some of the lanes already that Enclave have. Tough lanes to lock down outside of potentially the Karma. So it's definitely going to be a little bit interesting to see how Resolve, with that in mind, want to actually approach some of these fights. And looks like set. Okay, last second swap over. Back to the Zig. I mean, could have been an option, to be honest with you, as well. You got, you know, Nautilus plus the Xin Zhao that want to dive in. Lee Sin as well, you can interrupt a lot of that. But Syke's going to be piloting the Zigs with Karma in the top side. So strong poke, decent siege, double demolitionist again, healing, shielding, utility, and vulnerability. Enclave kind of have it all.
I like that comp. I like that comp.
Yeah.
Resolve have great team fighting. Both teams have really good team fighting, to be fair. But when I feel like as we get later into the game, sure, Otter going to be really strong as you move later. Orianna scales incredibly. But, I mean, again, it's a similar thing to the Veigar. Like, you're now walking, you know, if you go to Dragon, you have to go around because you're on the red side, on the blue side, sorry. And Ziggs, it's sure it's not a hard stun, but you take so much damage walking over the minefield and the bombs and the satchels and things trying to get closer. You still get that same level of zone control. And if you do hard engage and right-click just pops R, the whole team becomes invincible. And that is what Skumond wants. He wants to be able to just get as much damage off as possible, then start resetting. And he's going to be unkillable for large portions of these team fights because of the reset, like invulnerability, the invulnerability from the Taric Cosmic Radiance. I think Enclave have actually drafted themselves a seriously good comp here, and it's really on Resolve to see if they can shut it down early and look to snowball this game.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And what's also a little scary about that Viego pick, loads of strong champions for him to possess, actually, if you think about it. You've got Nautilus, Lee Sin, Xin Zhao, Ezreal's honestly also a good option. The only one you really want to sort of avoid potentially like possessing unless you're using it for an ult reset is the Orianna. Other than that, you're probably okay. And even the Orianna's got merits. If she starts to get fed, then you just magically take her down. So if they don't lock down this Viego, we speak about it a lot in the NLC because it feels like in the NLC, Viego a little less of a successful champion in the league. I don't know the numbers, but it typically feels like whenever Viego is on a team, that team tends to start to lose in the early game. And that's when the disrespect starts to happen. You find one kill as the Viego team, all of a sudden the reset starts to cycle through. And you're sat there wondering why you just lost a team fight with a 5k gold lead. And the reason is 200 years. So let's see how Skumond is going to play this one out on this Viego, because I think he's got a good opportunity here to show off with this pick.
Still loading into the game, unfortunately. No pauses yet. I mean, touch wood, I'm definitely not jinxing it, but
it's an Enclave game.
It is an Enclave game.
We're going to get pauses.
God damn it.
I'm just being real.
It's been a long week. It's been a very long week. Yeah. Today I found out having an ulcer on your tongue and casting is really hard. Actually, like, genuinely painful. I'm suffering for this. I am suffering for this. Partly why I'm going off topic so much at the moment, because just trying to fill the time with random nonsense.
Is it time for another question?
I want a promise from you, actually. That's what I want.
Are you gonna ask me to promise that I'll watch Avatar? Is that
yes, that is genuinely.
I'm gonna watch Avatar, bro. It's okay.
Good.
Like,
it's on Netflix. You have Netflix, right? Wait, you don't have Netflix? Who doesn't have Netflix nowadays? Wait, you really don't?
No, it's not. Like, UK Netflix is dead. It's bad.
Hey, UK Netflix isn't that bad.
I feel like, I don't know. When I had Netflix a couple of years ago, it wasn't that great. Like, there weren't that many good shows.
Oh, it's good actually. There's quite a lot on it now. Yeah, it's good. They've really invested in the originals.
Okay,
Like
the boys I've watched. I'm watching our production chat. The boys I've actually watched. Very dark show though. So
yeah, a bit different from Avatar.
bit different from Avatar.
Horror and the
Like,
Legend of Avatar.
actually very dark in contrast to what I've heard about.
I need to watch
Avatar.
The Boys. Actually, I haven't watched it. Everyone's going crazy about
It's
it.
not for the faint-hearted. Some of the scenes are genuinely very, very gritty. So, you know, caution with that one. But still, very good show. If you're okay with some of that. But hey, Resolve are here. Of course, with Enclave, it says loosened at the top, but that's okay. Is Enclave versus Resolve here?
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And I mean, again, looking towards Enclave to see exactly what they can do. I think our expectations relatively...
in for... I think he might be dead here. He's going to get
dead.
free talent strike. Zotta makes his way forward. He has to flash away, but Bakugo continues the chase, slows down, goes in for the dash, and it's first blood for Bakugo.
I just don't know how you end up in that position, to be honest. But yeah, all right. Infort forced to flash, and he still dies at the level 1. It only costs Bakugo's flash, so see how that potentially impacts the jungle matchup, whether it means that he's a little more tempered in the first couple of minutes. But first blood in his pocket does actually base and get the advantage off, but at the end of the day, it means he's going to get towards that gold drinker just a little bit faster, as this ward won't be swept, as Regan doesn't actually have a sweeper at level 1. So full information on the Enclave side of where the jungle is starting, whereas Resolve should have a pretty good idea themselves, as they found the ward onto the blue buff. Viego isn't on the blue buff.
But they have a ward in the pit as well.
Oh, they have a ward on the blue buff.
Skumont has a ward in his pit, so yeah, both junglers are well aware of where their counterpart is.
Yeah. So do you know what that means, Jake?
What does that mean?
It means we're probably getting a slow first 5 minutes is what it means.
Woo! Let's go!
All right, well, to be fair, our early games today have been pretty slow.
Yeah, they have.
I feel like it. That's okay. I mean, we've had exciting games. The early games.
Yeah, you know, I'll take a slow early game over a quick, one-sided, boring game. I keep going on about this, but I was getting so annoyed with it. UKLC wasn't as criminal as NLC for it, but man. Horse standing on a beach, man.
Oh, that meme is pretty good.
I love that meme. I saw when because I was sending you that one earlier this morning, and I just saw a guy. There was a picture of a man standing on a beach, and it just said horse, and it killed me. It was so good.
Yeah, those memes where I don't even know what to call. They're not obscure. They're just dumb.
Just dumb. Yeah, they're literally just
dumb.
4 brain cell memes, but they're so good. Yeah. Horse. Makes me laugh every time.
Have you seen Juan?
What? Juan?
Yeah, Juan the horse.
No, maybe.
You've never seen the picture of the horse on the balcony? I don't get it. I have no idea why.
I think I have. I'm gonna Google this. I'm gonna Google this right now.
Yeah, go ahead, because nothing is going on in the game anyway. So, so it'll be okay.
Yes, I have seen Juan the horse. Why is he up there?
I don't know. Like, how does a horse end up on a balcony like that? Questions that will never be answered.
Maybe he's just rolling. Oh, hello, good hook.
Oh, the hook.
Make you have to jump away. Right, please ignite it.
Okay,
Heal comes in. He's fine.
Wow.
Maybe that horse just has good money. You know. I know you were trying to break down the play, but no one died.
I think Juan maybe took out a bad loan.
He thought this horse is this balcony's not big enough for a horse.
Yeah.
Make his head. The exhaust. That last auto has not done it.
He had heal. He could have gone in as well. Okay. I mean, to be fair, Mike, also did have flash additionally.
I think he had heal though. Use it to save rightly.
Oh wait. I don't know. I looked at. Okay, I might be getting tired. I looked at it. Both looked like he had heal. All right, my bad. I apologize.
Yeah, he healed to save rightly from first blood.
That is correct. Well, second blood, because man on our screen at Info. Yes, yeah,
was
the person that died at level 1.
Having fun times.
Yep.
There's Ken rotate. Does eat that, but he gets the kick. Not gonna follow it. Oh, he is gonna follow it actually. He's feeling it. Feeling himself. The chains are on. Import's actually going a little bit low. All it's gonna take is one good Sonic Strike. He has that ward hop. He can close the gap.
I am very surprised Kenruro didn't commit.
I think he saw Skumond.
Potentially, yeah. Wait, no, there's no. There was ward up at the Krogs. Yeah, okay, yeah. There's definitely a chance. He was expecting Skumond there as a forcefully chunked out, or at least chunked out very, very low in the extended trades. Yeah, could have potentially looked for an all-in. I feel like because in 4 blue flash level 1, so it wasn't available just then, but didn't look for it.
If you could have any pet as any animal as a pet, what would you have?
I wouldn't want anything like crazy. I mean, I've always had so whenever I tell people this story, they typically don't believe me, but we had like this big bird fly onto our balcony, and it looked like, I don't know, it looked like an eagle or like a falcon or something. It was huge, like genuinely massive.
Was it a kite?
No idea. I'm not like crazy on birds, so I don't know like different species or anything. But it was huge. It was like,
could have been a kite.
I don't know.
Did it look like a bird of prey?
It looked like a bird of prey.
Yeah, it's probably a kite then. Although otters are showing, not otters, sorry. I'm thinking of otter here. But by the way, my answer actually would have been a river otter. I love otters.
Of course.
No, the eagles are actually showing up. I live in Surrey, and we actually have started to get eagles showing up around Surrey now.
Interesting.
Flown down from Scotland.
I see. But yeah, so like eagles or small counterparts in falcons. I like falcons.
Falcons are cool, yeah. I had a friend who back when I was in my musical days, the guitarist in my band, his dad used to really like birds of prey.
Yeah.
He had 6 owls, 2 falcons, and something else, and I can't remember what it was. Yeah, they were really cool actually.
Yeah,
he had a massive birdery in his garden.
Yeah, I mean, if you've got that many birds, you definitely have to. Because, yeah, falcons are kind of interesting. I was watching, another, because we were talking about channels earlier. I can't remember. Oh my god, why can't I not remember what it's called? Is it Zoo tier list?
Oh, Zoo tier list, yeah, tier list Zoo.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
He did a bird tier list, and I found out from that video that falcons have a very interesting approach to how they find their prey, because they actually knock out like,
oh yeah, they do like a sonic clap, don't they?
Yeah, they do like a sonic clap. Like they just basically dive into whatever they're looking for now. Yeah,
Naruto hopping away. He has got the flash, but he's actually got Bakugo coming over the walls. Wind becomes lightning. The knock-up lands onto Skumond, and I think they're just going to call it off there. Regan's also in the area,
and rightly made his way all the way up to the top side as well. Potentially turned into a more extended trade, but nothing will come out of it. Yeah, so Falcons dive, and that's kind of cool.
Yeah, Falcons are really cool.
Typically, you know, you think of like birds of prey, it's like, okay, big feet, talons, probably like, you know, sharp beaks, all that stuff. Yeah, Falcons don't care about that. They just ram into a flying bird. Just because why not? That's how they get their food.
I didn't know. You wouldn't know this because you don't know what kites are, but kites aren't actually birds of prey. They are scavengers.
Oh.
They are. If you ever see a kite, the reason they're called kites is because they hover in the air. They look kind of eagerly, but they're a lot smaller. But they hover in the air, and they just like basically look for things that are already dead to eat.
I see. Yeah. So anyway, to answer your question, that would probably be my pet of choice. If you're total face check.
Not today. Otter's going to zone him off the control ward as well. Going to keep their vision there. It's rightly probably just going to walk back around and try and take this, but Otter needs to be a little careful. Getting a bit of damage off. The dazzle isn't going to connect, and now Regan finds the hook. Skumond comes in with the lockdown as Bakugo makes his way, and a shockwave lands onto 2. Otter gets shielded, and a beautiful kick by Kenruto. Instantly knocked out the Ultra Barrage. It's going to be enough as Bakugo flashes in and secures the double kill.
Honestly, real nice fight coming out from Resolve. Stars kind of relying on some of these ultimates as well, but at the end of the day, the execution is still absolutely nothing short of perfect. Pull out 2 kills for felt like pretty much nothing. From nothing, rather. And they're going to pick up the Herald on the back of it. That's going to expand the gold lead even further. It's about 2,200 at the moment. That Herald's going to get even bigger as a... Yeah.
Some more in. And Mikey has to be careful. He has got Flash, burns the exhaust, and flashes away from the Heartbreaker. 2 summoner spells burnt there by Skumon for nothing.
Yeah. Real nice play as get the replay. See how it all kicks off. Enclave just really hell-bent on taking down that control ward. Regan finds the hook onto Reichley. Flashes away from the Mega Inferno Bomb. Tristana, yeah, I don't know about that rocket jump. Bit crazy. If you ask me, it's actually 3 kills for none. I apologize on the earlier comment of saying it was 2 kills for nothing. Reichley did end up falling. Death time was very short at this point in the game, so I just didn't quite realize. But yeah, everything lines up. Kick, True Shot Barrage, Shockwave was great. Displacement from that Xin Zhao ultimate too. Enclave not quite ready to take a skirmish like that.
Well, 10 minutes in now. Gold lead in favor of Resolve. Enclave been getting punished a little bit in some of these plays, and you know, Bakugo on this aggressive early jungler definitely making it work as Sykes a little careful. Bakugo's in the area, but I think he's just looking for the opportunity to place down the Rift out, but they actually jump straight in onto Sykes, and he is dead. The Crescent Guard will finish him up. Nice little kill there, and Riftail's going to go down, and Otter should be able to get the plates if he can hang around close enough.
Yeah, he's ordered a couple times, so he'll get the plate. He might actually get 3. No, never mind. Okay, I've not played enough League of Legends. Very clearly. Finds 2 though, nonetheless. Pretty happy with that. As Kenru just proxy farming. No threat to him. This is kind of one of the bones.
A little careful, he's going to get rooted. May just follow up with the kick and get a bit more damage into N4. And place another ward. Here's the bomb onto Otter. Skumon not really in range in those Shockwave on Otter because he just used it. Dragon number 2 going to get started, and this will be the first one for Resolve. Not really much what Enclave are going to be able to do about this one. They're just going to have to give it over.
Yeah, and honestly, Bakugo is so strong at the moment. This guy's Gordon is 401, 8 free CS at 11 minutes. Enclave, beg pardon, they have to avoid Bakugo if they're looking for skirmishes or side lane picks or anything like that. If the Xin Zhao's in the area, it's gonna be a bad day. It feels like at the moment. Enclave shouldn't have the burst damage readily available just yet to remove Xin Zhao from these fights in a fast manner, and even if they did, still got to work around the ultimate. Gordon can heal as well. It's just too much.
Looks like Enclave are looking for a little something onto Meikyu. Meikyu definitely smells a rat though. As they're jumping in, he shifts out. It's so hard to punish in Ezreal.
Flashed as well, yeah. It's very, very hard. Reichley flashed.
Oh, he did?
Didn't change much because I feel like Impulse would have had the exact same position. Or I feel like Reichley did end up in the same position. So, flash for nothing. At the end of the day. Now, one more plate going to drop in the mid lane. Regan even here to pay a visit, and this should just be first tower. Don't think there's any response here for Enclave.
Well, it's pretty heavily trimmed out, but they'll be able to pick it up. That's first turret blood over the side of Resolve in the mid lane as well. So, going to open the map up, deny some of that safety to Sykes. As Kenry has to be a little careful because of N4 here. Able to break the chains though, and we'll be able to survive and get away.
And it's just so nice taking away the tier 1 from Ziggs, as we always speak about whenever Ziggs is in the game at the moment. You know, that category of champions, right? Anivia, Victor, Azir, all of those champions, they love to just sort of sit at the tier 1. Clear every single wave that comes their way. That tier 1 gone, the safety net's gone. And it's a pretty big safety net for Enclave, especially when you consider the gold deficit they find themselves in at the moment. Ways to come back in relatively limited because, of course, again, you have to remember they're the team with the sort of disengage / kite back into re-engage composition. They're the ones that have to read Resolve. They have to read where Resolve are going to make plays or try and cut off rotations. So realistically, still a pretty similar thing. And find picks of that manner or try and force a numbers advantage somewhere, but it's going to be so difficult when you've got double teleports up, when they are eventually up.
It's going to be a plate picked up there for Impulse. Remember, is this demolition squad on the side of Enclave with this charge and the satchel, so they can pop towers fairly easily, but they're not letting Sykes move out. He's having to catch waves very shallow here in the mid.
A good job of Resolve, because, you know, when you have mid-tier 1 control like this, you can slowly start to push up. Now, granted, they don't actually have a whole bunch of bottom lane priority, but what they do have is a whole bunch of top lane priority, because Kenruto literally proxying the waves up here at the moment. Whenever he can find the time to. Mikey just doing a good job of being a weak side Ezreal. I'm hoping I haven't just jinxed it.
We'll look for this Dazzle as he's going to walk out, but make it instantly. He shifts away, and that's now going to be on cooldown for a little bit, but they're bringing in Bakugo, and he's looking for the opportunity to find a kill. Cosmic Radiance is available, though, and there's the Dazzle there. Bakugo jumps in. That's going to be them jumping out. They land the knock off onto Rightly, and he might have to throw the ulti down, but it's going to be a little bit too little, a little bit too late. Bakugo will find the kill, and Impulse now has to be so careful.
Yeah, Regan's here. He can hold Impulse down, maybe force the flash.
Now gets the depth charge off, looks for the hook. Ignite down, and that is an assassination from Regan. Dodges away on everything, as well as Otter's coming in, but the shield's going to be a little bit too late. Skumon may just find himself caught out as he Heartbreakers for even more distance. Resolve will lose their support, but they kill 2 on the side of Resolve's bot lane.
Yep, nice play all in all from Resolve. And Kenruto just decides that he's actually Bakugo, and he just tried to wall top to hit.
I'm the jungler now.
He just tried to wall top to hit the eye, by the way.
I know, that was tragic. He's really struggling. By the way, if you're Lee Sin and it's not in the corner, you can just Q. And you walk
it puts you on top of Herald.
I found this out because I played Lee Sin jungle the other day.
Yeah, I used to... Kosoff was one of my former players. He's obviously decent OTP galore. Or at least he used to be. So I watched a bunch of Lee Sin gameplay back then. And it's something that I learned from them as well.
Once upon a time.
I am not a Lee Sin player.
I
used to be. My hands used to be
champion.
really good. Fortunately, or unfortunately rather, I've just developed boomer hands as far as League of Legends is concerned.
Same.
16 minutes on the clock. Next dragon is up. Resolve, they're eyeing it up. Enclave, bottom lane. Have to be a little bit careful because there's a potential party in the bottom lane waiting for them if they don't pay enough respect. Okay.
Charge went down to the top lane. Big chunk of damage into Enforced Tower, but it is going to remain as Bakugo will pick up the second dragon of the game for the side of Resolve. And it's definitely not been as slow pace as I expected to start us off, but it does feel like the tempo is dropping a little bit as Resolve. You know, they've got themselves a good grip hold on this game. No point sprinting it. Just to accelerate. They're going to keep a nice control on this game for the moment. Probably when these side lane turrets go down, that's when they'll start to get a little bit more explosive in their gameplay.
Yep, certainly do agree. We have to also highlight the importance of scaling because we saw the importance of scaling last game. Lucent finding that win over Eminem purely on that basis alone. Able to stabilize. The moment though, Resolve, in contrast to that game, definitely accelerating the game a little bit faster across the board.
Yes.
So, a little more of a positive trajectory there. Again, the scaling of Enclave can't be understated. Tristana, Ziggs, no slouches. Viego as well, honestly. Taric, pretty underrated when it comes to the scaling side of things. Some of the healing and the consistent dazzles that you can put out can be very, very impactful, of course. Or naturally, the element Karma, I think it goes without saying.
What? Almost going a bit of a greedy way around, but thanks to that control ward, realized the errors of his way, and Bakugo over in the top side, in the bot side, sorry, will be able to pick a tower up as X-Flash over the wall here from Regan. Finds himself a hook onto Import. The Cosmic Radiance goes down, and only 2 members are going to go invulnerable, and Enclave going to be able to walk away from that one unscathed, but big wave crashing in the bot lane is Kenruto. It's not Bakugo. I see Lee Sin. I think
just be jungler. Yeah. And N4 could actually just get dove here.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't even need to insec. It's just the ward hop kick.
Ooh.
And bomb goes down. Bakako flashes after him. And the true shot barrage will finish it up. But they follow up with the spectral maw onto Bakako. Has himself the ulti. Regan going to lock down one. But the fight going to be over from there.
Yeah.
So Otto has shockwave.
Let's have shockwave. Yeah, I think for Resolve, call it quits.
Or is he?
Fine. Found the pick on the side lane. Ooh, could have been a shockwave opportunity, but I think it would have just been a little bit too overforced. Would have been more for poke than anything else. Call it quits. Found the jungle camps. You found the pick on the side lane. Didn't lose anybody. Can be very, very happy with that play. Just small minor advantages to get in. And before this next dragon spawn up. I mean, haven't really spoken much about the item spikes in general in this game, but see Bakako so accelerated. 2 items at the 20-minute mark as a jungler is honestly something that is pretty uncommon, it feels like.
Yeah,
in the compare now.
He's giga-fed.
I mean, he's probably got the most gold in the game, let alone just on his team.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Bring up the gold and we'll see exactly where we're at as far as this jungle difference is. It's probably pretty large.
No.
No,
says the observer.
That was the zoom out again. What are we talking about?
What are we talking? The gold. The gold. Oh, yeah. That's yours. He's gonna troll us. All right, that's fine. Well,
he asked us to say ADC's balanced. I refuse. I actually straight up refuse.
You know what? You know what? No. I do think ADC is balanced, actually. Thank you, observer. Yeah, most gold in the game.
You can say psych now.
No, I mean, I do think it's kind of balanced.
Kind of balanced?
Yeah. No, I mean.
Oh, Sykes.
We'll speak about it in a second because Sykes is probably about to make his way back to the death chamber.
Yeah, I think he is. Gets the bomb off. The wave's already cleared. Otter secures the kill and Bakako able to survive as Skumon not going to be able to find himself a harrow path and make it. Going to be able to solo take out this turret in the mid lane as well. 4 turrets to 1 right now for the side of Resolve.
Bad. Ooh, if you are a Resolve fan, 8,000 gold lead. Trying to approach one of those insurmountable ones as far as the UKLC is concerned. You know, I feel like if it's the NLC, you'd maybe think about it being over. Yeah, cool.
I spoke to Orcs about this on the NLC actually. I think it's a really cool question. If you could introduce a new elemental dragon, what would it be? And what would its like passive effect be and its main effect be? So I came up with like Thunder Dragon or Lightning Dragon. And it gives you attack speed per dragon. And then it gives you like a static shiv, but reduces resistances for a brief period of time as it's sold.
Oh.
I think that's kind of cool.
That's a nice, yeah, that's a nice dragon. I'll have to give that a think because, you know, you've got like ocean, water, all right? Fire, infernal.
Yeah.
Earth, mountain. Wind is, well, it's clouds, wind. And lightning is like the 5th one that I would typically think of.
Yeah, lightning. I'm really happy with that because it makes sense for the attack speed.
Maybe an ice dragon. But I don't know what its I know what its soul could potentially be, but I don't know what the actual stats it could.
What would you think its soul should be?
It would probably be like ability slow, like just a global right line.
That's what he said. He said like a
oh, the orcs actually say ice.
Yeah, you pretty much said what he said. I can't remember what he said its passive would be. Although once
Sykes
again,
might be dead again, by the way.
Sykes is for the 4th time this game going to be visiting the grey screen. He has become one with the color grey. Okay. Some might say 50 shades of it. Sykes gonna get knocked up. Otter getting zoned, and yep. Christian Grey is his name. Don't ask how I know the name of that.
Been down bad recently.
I was watching. I was watching because
it was your girlfriend.
Do you watch? No. Do you watch?
Just get yourself out of the hole and say that your girlfriend forced you to watch it or something. Oh.
You can't say that line when we're talking about 50 Shades of Grey, man. Kenruto getting zooned away by Rightly as I just killed Jamada. Fell onto the Baron Nash and Kenruto on zoning duty here. There's going to be the ulti thrown out as Skumon. He's not invulnerable, so he can just die. The true shot barrage, not enough to finish him up. And Skumon burning to the ignite, the flash, the kick, not going to be able to finish it up. And Rightly, you're not in the pit. The Baron's picked up there for Resolve. And that's it. Resolve find themselves the Baron. I'll give you what it is. Do you watch things on YouTube when you eat food? You have to find the video, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my like background noise for eating at the moment is 8 out of 10 Cat Stars Countdown.
Right.
And they were talking about 50 Shades of Grey on that. There we go.
Okay.
Actually, third item Tiamat for Makey.
Oh, we're having a side draw. Not particularly uncommon. I feel like we've moved away from like the Divine Thunderer. Yeah, I feel like we moved away from Divine Thunderer in general. On this patch, whenever we've seen Ezreal, it seems to be Triforce as the option. I was actually speaking with our observer about it because he was playing a solo queue game yesterday and he was playing Ezreal.
Oh.
Could see a face check, but honestly, I don't know how Enclave will win a fight outright
they
at the
found
moment.
themselves onto Makey. Makey has to shift away. The dazzle gets flashed. Not going to be enough as here comes the bomb. Makey's very, very low. He's down. Shut down. Picked up by Impulse and now Resolve. They need to be oh so careful. As Skumon stealing forms of the Ezreal. Has got those arcane shifts to work with. Great zone there with Motta with the dissonance to get the slow off. And they have to be quite careful because a shockwave could honestly turn this fight back around. And Sykes.
Oh, Psy.
I mean, it is just unfair how hard he's getting picked on here. And while all that is going on, off in the bot lane, Kenruto is doing what top laners do, which is not team fighting and just pushing waves.
Yep, sounds about right. As, well, it's a pretty big wave on the bottom side. It's still a 4v4 technically. Zig's 25 seconds away. This should just be the inhibitor going down. And they can just move over to the mid lane. They've got a wave to work with. Otto realizes that, and they're just going to shift on over.
Oh, Otto has to be careful. Dodges the Spectral more. And yeah, I think they can just continue away. So the True Shot Barrage will trim through the wave as well. That's going to be the end of another inhibitor tower. Already got that bot inhibitor down as Kenruto goes in for the kick into multiple members. The shotwave from Motta only lands onto Skumon, but he is down. And with the Baron on and 2 inhibitors down, Resolve might be able to take some serious damage onto this base.
Yeah, I was also going to say they could end here, but I think just be patient. You've got the Ocean Soul spawning soon. You make a mistake here, you give over that dragon, you extend the game a little bit longer than it has to go out. Mike, you gonna just... Is he donating the blue to... I was about to say he's donating it to Bakako.
That was genuinely very generous.
Yeah.
Oh,
as
no,
Rightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Makey gets a kill. There we go.
Oh, they could end now off that pick.
Yeah, they still have Baron actually, but it looks like they're not going to. I think Kenruto is again doing what these champions do. His Impulse has been jumped onto by Bakako, and oh my word.
Okay.
That was a salute True Shot Barrage. See you on the other side, friend. And I think this might be it. I think this might just be the game. Kenruto teleporting in. The bomb's going to go down, but it only clears through a couple of the minions as the first tower will crumble. Second should be quick to follow. And Enclave, their options have evaporated here. The depth charge into a 3-man shockwave. Health bars are already low. The Nexus will fall and Resolve take a dominant victory over Enclave.
Yep, I think relatively expected outcome, but that was certainly very early spring or early summer performance out of this Resolve Academy lineup. And yeah, I mean, honestly, Enclave kind of sat on their hands a little bit too much. I felt like Resolve in general, especially after they found that mid lane skirmish, it just felt kind of out of their hands.